A show based on the facts, honesty, the man, the myth, the legend, Constitutionalist Joseph M. Leonard.
Hey gang, just a brief intro into Music Weeks. Here they are now. I was also considering going down the list of all the people that you see over the Music Weeks to be part of each episode, let you know who's coming or who may have been or whatnot. The list has grown. Too big to really go into here. I don't want to take that much time. Music Weeks, thankfully, has grown into a pretty big deal. So it's grown a lot more than just the one Music Week. It originally was going to start out as into multiple weeks. Now, let's go ahead and get into this particular day's Music Weeks episodes, and I'm trying to drop them Monday through Friday each week of Music Weeks.
Welcome to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast, aka CTP. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard, and that's L-E-N-A-R-D. CTP is your no muss, no fuss, just me, you, and occasional guest type podcast. Really appreciate you tuning in. As Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Constitutionalist Politics Podcast, another Music Weeks episode. I'm going to start off a little weird today, a little bit of background and information. I'm going to my heart doctor tomorrow. I am expecting to go right into the hospital for the rest of this week or potentially next week for heart valve replacement surgery, after which I'm not going to be in any kind of shape to record any Zooms. I expect to have enough energy to be able to hit upload on the episodes, so I'm rushing to get the Music Weeks episodes pre-recorded before I go into the hospital. So with that being said, I've reached out to 4 different singing telegram operations. It isn't that one was my favorite and the other my fourth choice. It's not the case. I reached out to 4 online, basically all at the same time, scrambling to find someone who could fit in my window of time here on Monday, March the 3rd, as we're recording this. So Lori Hurley of Goofy Grams out of St. Paul, Minnesota, was supposed to come on, but something came up last minute. She couldn't make it. I also reached out to a local firm, Farmington, Michigan, near me, one in Akron, Ohio. And luckily, though, Josh McNeely of Jam Your Gram Singing Telegrams was able last minute to be able to join us today. So I can't begin to tell you how appreciative I am, Josh, for you being able to squeeze us in today, knowing that you're all busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, as the saying goes. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you.
All right. Now, with all that rigmarole setup out of the way, again, you are Jam Your Gram Singing Telegrams. Normally, I'd wait to the end of the show before saying, where do people reach out to you? But your website is jamyourgram.com. People can reach you by email at info@jamyourgram.com or 480-788-4495 by phone. And that will be in the buzzsprout transcript, extended show notes, episode-related links and information for people to be able to find there. My obvious first question is more of a comment and then to get your reaction, because I didn't know singing telegrams were still a thing.
That's so funny you say that. That's literally kind of what I tell. I said, my biggest problem is people just don't know it's a thing. When they do, they realize they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I would love to do that. So my biggest hurdle is always just getting it out there that there's still a thing.
And absolutely why, when I saw singing telegrams was indeed still a thing, I reached out to four of you saying, oh my God, I've got to get one of you on for
Classic.
Music Weeks and get that word out that singing telegrams were indeed still a thing and will certainly be on my list of something to do probably sometime in the remainder of this year, 2025. So the next obvious thing then is, why singing telegrams? How the heck did you land up in singing telegrams?
Well, man, it was a long story really on my end. I'm a
Give
I'm a
us the Cliff
musician.
Notes.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
musician, and I'm big into performing, and I was actually just a single dad looking for a way to be there a little bit closer to my family, a little bit more. And so came across this, and this kind of fit that, and kind of took off from there. Over 400 later, and I'm still kicking.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. And when I started researching this to see that indeed you're in Phoenix, Arizona, but there, like I said, there's one near me in Farmington, Michigan, Akron, Ohio, Lori Hurley and Goofy Grams there in St. Paul, Minnesota. There's a bunch more out all over the place. So it's obviously a doing pretty good that it's sustaining big markets.
Absolutely. And I'd like to shout out one of the company that actually got my start. Before I started my own business, I'm still working for this company. I'm not really working for them, but contracted out by them. It's Rockstar Singing Telegrams. Pretty amazing company. This guy Jeff is just remarkable. He started by himself 20 years ago, and now the guy has performers in every city throughout the United States and even in Canada if you wanted to send a telegram there. And he does rock star style and classy style, more formal, but very, very cool. Yes, definitely a thing.
Yeah, well, and for Music Weeks, I've been digging up old concert shirts. So today, for the benefit of the audio
Yes.
only and or the transcript, I'm wearing Kiss. Back when in their makeup, Paul Stanley as Star Child, I dressed up as Star Child for a Halloween costume party one time. You can't dress up as Star Child. There would be trademark issues there.
Right.
Your characters, you do.
I do, instead of like an actual character, it's more like a generic 80s rock star costume. And almost, some people say it's a mix between, what I'm doing is a mix between, a few different legends. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, I did see a picture of you in the getup. Just to repeat, this is Josh McNeely of jamyourgram.com. He also mentioned Rockstar Singing Telegrams. He also works with, but your outfit is jamyourgram.com. You thought it was lucrative enough and convenient enough, like you said, to be able to have more family time to start your own.
Absolutely. This is for me, this is it's kind of a big deal for me. Family's a big part of my life, and I really just want to be there for my girls. I got divorced and really wanted to spend more time with them, and singing telegrams really made that a possibility. Like I said, these kind of telegrams too, I think the rock star kind is kind of a fun twist on the classic, singing telegrams. I think every other singing telegram company out there is pretty much just doing, they dress up and they'll come and sing to you dressed up nicely, or they will, they have somebody dressed up like a costume, and it's a specific person, which I think this is a little bit more fun because we get to, take it into really what we're providing is kind of like the celebrity experience. get up all gaudy and, and I come make it, a big experience. Like a real rock star is coming to sing to you at your job. I mean, that's kind
At
of
your
special.
job or your birthday party, your anniversary event.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we could.
Now, I hardly know where to go next down this because I'm like, again, I didn't know this was a thing. I'm so glad it still is. So I guess the next direction to go, rabbit hole to go down is I asked you in the green room. You are in Phoenix, Arizona, where you usually go, but you will travel a little bit with like a gas surcharge or whatever, depending on the time, the event.
I think I've traveled up to almost 200 miles for a telegram, and they paid a little extra for a fee, but it's worth it sometimes. Just, I mean, for me, it's a special thing for me because I get to kind of do something special for people. When you deliver them a single telegram, all of a sudden there's a connection there. I mean, I almost feel like I'm part of about 400 different families right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can imagine. That's great. Yeah, you end up becoming part of whatever group or family it is. You're like not Weird Al, but you're like Weird Uncle Josh, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these events that I'm doing are like for anything and everything between. I've done birthdays, anniversaries, proposals, retirement parties. I've done corporate events. As a matter of fact, businesses love using us to surprise their employees or their family, or even just to bring, long distance love to someone that they can't visit. And that's probably a big one right there.
Yeah, that's great. You had mentioned you went up to like 200 miles. Obviously, you're not going to fly to another state. It's not worth a 6-hour trip for a 6-minute show, right?
Right.
No matter how well you're paid.
And that's a good point. It's about 5 to 7 minutes, so it's not like not a half an hour thing, But I have been asked quite a few times to stick around a little extra and play a few extra songs, and I will do that.
Okay. And then the other thing, the next logical thing, as we discussed in the green room, I wasn't sure, made sense to me that you would, and you agree that you could like skip into somebody's Zoom. You could do it virtually, yes?
Absolutely. And a little bit cheaper for that. I even do video telegrams. Well, people will send me pictures of their loved ones, and I will, play a couple of songs with my guitar, personalizing them to the clients there, and they maybe say some funny things if they give me some details about the people, and then they can send that video to them themselves on their own time.
The wonders of modern technology taking the singing telegram to new levels that would have never, ever been conceived of before.
Absolutely. It's like a birthday card on crack. It's really what it is.
I like that. I mentioned the Paul Stanley Star Child thing. Again, you can't do that. You mainly do rock star and classy, but your website does say potentially for additional fee, if it's viable, you could do a custom character.
Absolutely. I have done a few where I've impersonating someone. Not as many though. Most people are pretty happy with my regular telegrams. I also do, like maybe like a country rock star here and there, and things like that. Crooner look. I'll do more crooner.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, if somebody wants more like a Frank Sinatra.
Fly me to the moon.
Right, yeah, an older couple's anniversary, I could really envision that. So,
absolutely.
Next, I will pivot to, I saw, normally I introduce guests and say, I don't know anything about this person not because I'm lazy, I don't want to do any research, but because when I have somebody on, it's just kind of my style. I want to discover you the same time as the audience will discover but with this, since I didn't know it was still a thing, I kind of had to do some research. So I did see at your site, your usual event, again, everything's open to negotiation and whether it's viable or not. But the usual thing is 1 to 2 songs, a balloon, and a chocolate, I saw.
Absolutely. Yep. It will come with the, late Mylar balloon, happy birthday or whatever that is. And they have add-ons. So you could add on, a dozen roses or a box of chocolates or more balloons, or somebody just recently paid me an extra $100 just to make a custom song for an early Valentine's Day gift. So I came into this guy's work and I sang a custom song. She gave me a bunch of information about him, said he liked Blink-182 and All Time Low, and said she's been pranking him. And I put all that right into a song and went and sang it for them, and then edited the video and give them that to share and keep forever.
That's cool. Yeah, I was going to get into that next, that you did custom tunes. And since you mentioned tunes, I did print out, I don't want to go into the different, well, for very personal reasons, we'll get into the different categories of tunes you did, but for very personal reasons, behind the scenes, people could see I'm holding up a Jethro Tull Crest of the Knave album, and I'm taking out the liner notes so I can zoom in here. You're probably not going to see it, but my name is on the sleeve there.
Whoa.
So for very personal, selfish reasons, I'm curious, do you know any Jethro Tull?
I do not right now, but you know what? I have a very long list of songs that I want to add. Or at least I say I might not be able to play them right off the bat. You know, I mean, a lot of my songs, these are songs that I've played, most of them I've played many, many times. And some of them I can play, without lyrics, but a lot of them I'll need the lyrics there with me because I just don't play them that often. Some time requests.
Yeah. Now, again, I'm holding up a list of some of the different songs, but I just want to talk about the categories: rock, pop, energetic, upbeat telegrams, classic rock, timeless hits telegrams, country, heartfelt, emotional telegrams, reggae, I thought was rather interesting, feel good, relaxed telegrams, classics, easy listening, romantic anniversary telegrams. Me being based out of the Detroit area, I'm very happy to see Motown, soul, feel good, classic love telegrams. I happen to see Aretha Franklin's RESPECT on there. So you have a wide variety, and again, for a nominal extra fee, you're open to custom songs, as you already said, or to learn a song. Like if I want to pull a joke on a old childhood friend, because first concert I ever went to was Jethro Tull bursting out at Cobo Arena in Detroit. The arena is now torn down, been torn down a long time, but so I couldn't send you because he's here in Michigan, but you could do a virtual Jethro Tullgram for him.
Absolutely.
If the price were right.
And usually it's about next to $25, and I'll learn a song for you. And then, but absolutely, a lot of songs. That's too a lot of songs that I've learned right now are just songs that people have requested over time, and I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't notice that song, but now that I have, like, I really like that song.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, not to go into them, but indeed, a lot of them that I'm looking down here, I could definitely see, just to pull one out, like at a corporate event, a pep kind of rally thing. Eye of the Tiger, Survivor would make sense for like a corporate rally type event, huh?
Well, even some that you wouldn't even imagine. Let's say, My Girl. We changed that by My Guy or My Mom or a lot of these are customizable. Just make them a little bit more personal to that person, a spot where I can throw in their name or, throw in their loved one's name, Brown Eyed Girl. When Dan used to sing, sha-la-la,
As I said, full admission, no idea this was a thing. So frankly, I don't know what the heck to ask you next.
But you know what?
What's a fun story from one of the events? Let's do that. Is there a memorable time that was like, wow, that went way different than you expected?
Well, there's some pretty good ones. I think one of my very favorite ones was where a wife sent me into to meet her husband, sing for her husband and his favorite restaurant. He goes there 5 days a week to Lupi Tortilla, right? And he's in the bar in there 5 days a week, so he knows everybody and all the people know him. And I went in there dressed up as rock star, and she, actually this was my first one. She didn't even tell me. I just said, give me a little bit of information on him. I wasn't even going to ask for anything. I just was new to this and still wanted to. I was ambitious and wanted to make it really special. So she gave me a bunch of information on him, and I turned it into a little ditty with it. I think I was doing "You Are So Beautiful," and his name is Jeremy. Jeremy. So "You Are So Beautiful, Jeremy."
Rather than
me.
To Me. Oh,
Right.
perfect.
So, little
Exactly.
thing like that.
Yes.
And I went ahead and
a very perfect example of how something can be so simply customized to be infinitely more memorable than
infinitely.
just someone showing up in a tux and doing, the proverbial like 1920 style,
Yeah.
straight laced thing. This a lot more fun.
That's what we're trying to get over too. We're trying to get past the idea that people think it's just, barbershop quartet at your door kind of thing.
I hadn't really thought of that. That's a good example. Yeah, people's minds might think that. Yeah, you get like your Christmas carolers envision as your
exactly.
Telegram.
Yeah, it's hard to get to that through the idea that no, this is literally a rock star showing up your door. I usually make a really big deal. Like for this guy at Lupi Tortilla. Now I played the little bit of the song and I threw in the thing, "You are so beautiful," at least to your wife. You know what I mean? And then throw in a whole bunch of stuff. She said stuff like, he's his friends and family make fun of his big head. And, he's a CEO and happy movies make him cry. And I put all this stuff into like a really fun little song. And then I got the whole restaurant, the whole bar singing happy birthday to him. And that's what I kind of do. I get in there and I'm a hype man. I go in there and I grab all the whole room's attention. And I say, check it out. This person's special. Help me celebrate them.
Yeah, well, that reminds me, like if you go to a TGI Fridays, if it's somebody's birthday, they'll round up the staff to try to hype up the entire restaurant. Yeah, you plan on doing that going in wherever you are to make it more of just you standing there doing something with people watching. You want involvement.
Right, participation. Like one of my favorite ones to do is "Don't Stop Believing." That's probably one of my best participation songs. At one point, I drop it out, the guitar, and I get everybody clapping. You know what I mean? And everybody sings along, of course, because everybody knows that song. Even the kids are knowing that one,
Yeah, it's pretty old now. It would be on the classic rock or oldies channel nowadays. But I'm 62, so I grew up with that. Yeah.
And another thing that you're probably not thinking of too is nowadays in this world where loneliness epidemic is a thing, and where everybody is just become separate, and what is the whole pandemic made everybody kind of more of homebodies. At this point, I think people crave real human interaction. I mean, especially in a world where everything is so digital. I mean, a rock star singing Telegram or Jamie Graham singing Telegram creates a memory that lasts forever. I mean, it's spontaneous, it's fun, it's heartfelt, and since there's no better way to express emotions through music, and then we're seeing more and more people choosing live telegrams over traditional gifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's because again, virtually anywhere you go, everybody's got one of these. I'm holding up my smartphone, right? They've all got cameras. People can click on snapshots or video and video the event. It's something that isn't just for that moment. It will last.
Absolutely. And that's the thing too, we encourage people nowadays, what is it? We pay for experiences instead of things. I mean, that's what I'm offering is an experience. Most women, if they're not completely embarrassed, which they almost always are, they're crying because it's such a heartfelt thing. They really understand that the person who sent this is really meaning something. It's a big thing. And this literally, like the guys or girls that sent me, the senders say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is just amazing. And there's nothing like this. And, this is things that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. I make sure to tell most people that this is a once in a lifetime experience. Most people don't get a singing telegram
in their entire life. It's not just the same old plain old, it's around Valentine's Day, I guess I'll send flowers or send, the same old tired stuff. It takes some thought, it takes some energy, it takes some real emotion to care enough to do something different like this.
Even some reconnaissance. I think, that's one thing that my people have to do is when they're trying to book, they have to find out where they're going to be, when they're going to be there, and then not spoil the surprise. And so there's something kind of that I'm trying to do that's a little bit innovative. I'm trying to do something special. I want to make surprise digital gift cards. So what they would do is the sender, maybe they don't want to do all the reconnaissance, or maybe the person is just, they don't want to be surprised out in front of everybody, embarrassed that much. Maybe they're just a little bit shy. So what they can do is they reach out to me, they tell me all the information I need. We send them a digital gift card. They fill out when they would like to receive it. It doesn't say what it is. It just says, pick your time, and it's limited to your home since you don't know exactly what it is. So they would just pick the time, they approve it on my end, and then I would go and celebrate them, and then the sender doesn't have to worry about it.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Joseph M. Leonard, host of Constitutionals, taking a brief moment to thank myarchit.com. Together we share the Christian and family value of honoring family. MyArchit.com helps you do that. Preserving family memories online also, therefore, can be shared online. Think of MyArchit like a Noah's Ark for images, audio, video, preserving, honoring your family. Thank you again to the folks over at myarchit.com.
Yeah, it's like putting together a surprise party. Yeah, how do you make sure that person's where they're supposed to be when you need them to be there for this to actually come together? Yeah, there's a lot of logistics involved, not just with you, but with those trying to have you pull it off. Yeah,
absolutely. As I say, it's a big deal for everybody. One thing I'm actually doing right now too is I'm trying to I want to give back to the community a little bit more with my business. So one thing I'm doing right now is I'm teaming up with the Phoenix Children's Chorus children's choir, and for every telegram I get, I'll be donating $5 to them. And then for every 10 telegrams, I'll be donating a free performance to the Banner Children's Hospital.
I have my first international book is a book on terrorism, but I like to tell people it's not about death and destruction. It's about life and living, right? And charity is a big part of that too. So on my website, I have a charity. In fact, I'm making myself a note. That's so amazing, I remember to put that in the extended show notes, because a lot of these charities are ripoffs. You got to make sure you find legit ones to be working with, indeed, and people to seek out. So I have a list of charities that I work with on my site. Now, for those not on audio, they can't see. I could see you have a pick, a guitar pick around your neck as a necklace. Is that a favorite guitarist pick, or?
That's kind of my backup, man. So if I drop a pick, I can just pop one out and keep going.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I ruined that.
I made my shirts here.
Yeah, for those who could see on the background, he's wearing his jamyourgram.com shirt. Again, the number is 480-788-4495. You could Google them. They will come right up. Not a big deal. Unlike my stuff that Google suppresses, they can find you.
That's good. It's good for me. I'm sorry about yours, Joe.
Well, it is what it is. So goes life, right? At any rate, indeed. Now, starting to wrap things up, then, is there another? Is again, not knowing what to ask. Let me just ask: is there something I should have asked that didn't? What's that question, and what's your answer?
Let me see here.
I kind of put you on the spot now with that. Yeah.
A little bit. Let me think here. Well, not that I can think of. I say, I've had some pretty fun ones though. I say, I don't know if anybody watches the show Silicon Valley. It's some show on TV. Anyways, one of the characters, he actually hired me, called me up, hired me to go to sing to his dad who lived in Houston. So that was a pretty cool experience right there.
So that was one of your longest distance ones, then.
Well, I used to live in Houston, so I just moved
okay.
here about in June.
Okay, well, I didn't do the proverbial at the beginning opening that I usually do, so let's indeed do that. Who are you, right? Where were you born? Where were you raised? We know where you are now in Phoenix, Arizona, but yeah, where were you born? Where were you raised? Where all have you been? That sort of stuff.
Okay, well, yeah, I am actually from the Midwest. I'm from Michigan, Indiana, born in Elkhart, the home RV trailer capital of the United States. And
I've been through there.
Have you? Really? Small world. No, as soon as I realized there's a place that doesn't snow, I hightailed it down to Texas, and then started my life there. My mom and my brother and my sister were there, and I got married and started a family, and they all moved away, and then I got divorced, and I was all alone. So I said, you know what? I'm going to move to Phoenix to be closer to my mom and my brother. And I got here, and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go full in, and I'm gonna start my own business, and I'm gonna really make sure this is something. Because like I said, working for a rock star is amazing. I love them to death, but there's just not enough telegrams there, so I got to spread out, and put my tentacles out there, my feelers.
Yeah, I'm glad that you have an initiative spirit and that to be able to then create your own business and make a go of things.
In Texas, for about 5 years, I was a children's ministry worship leader. So I did all the VBSs and all the Sunday schools and all the, youth groups and things like that. And I also was a gymnast for 14 years, and I taught gymnastics for 5-6 years. So from teaching to leading audiences and, then I got my tail in there. I think even with the church, I was the leads and plays and stuff. So acting, being the center stage and providing musical talent and joy. That worked for Jeff, a rock star, and I was his executive assistant for a while. And so I kind of have ins with all the people. I got to say, out of everybody, I'm offering something I noticed that most people aren't. It's energy, it's enthusiasm. I'm a great hype man. Yes, I can play the songs and I can sing it really good, but I think there's a lot of people that do that. What I do is I bring the energy.
And at the end of the day, that is the most important part, the bringing joy to, and you bringing joy to other people helps bring joy to yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? Spreading joy everywhere we can is a very positive thing, whatever the reasoning or motivation. Just to be good humans, or also, hey, you got to make a buck at it too.
I love being in service to my brothers in humanity, and that's where I think that's where too. Recently, I've decided I really want more. I want to do more. That's where I think I've come up with wanting to really reach out to do more donations, charity, and things like that.
Yeah, you mentioned gymnastics. That would not have been something I guessed, but everything that you said you did before clearly led you to what you're doing and how you're doing it now. The gymnastics I could see as being part of the routine.
Right, absolutely. I mean, what was my job there was, besides doing the gymnastics and being athletic and agilic and things, teaching really was the part where I had to grow, as in being able to command a whole group or a room at a time. You know what I mean? And it was really just you're exactly right. I really believe that when I found this, it felt like, wow, all the things that I love kind of fit right together neatly in this little package. And I get to help people, and I get to feel like a superhero, and I get to give back to the community. And it's a great thing.
Yeah. So wrapping things up again, I can't thank you enough for being able to squeeze me in on the compressed short notice time frame that I was needing. Josh McNeely of Jam Your Gram Singing Telegrams, jamyourgram.com, info@jamyourgram.com, or 480-788-4495. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Absolutely, Joe. Thank you so much for having me. I super appreciate you.
Getting a very special bonus add-on to this Music Week 1, Episode 5, Friday. Oh, let me look down at my calendar again. It's supposed to drop Friday, March the 14th. So hopefully this is dropping March the 14th. But I mentioned during the discussion with Josh that I was going to hire him and Jam Your Gram at some point throughout the remainder of 2025. Well, I decided to do a video gram for my sister as a belated birthday. We normally don't do anything for each other's birthday. There's an ongoing running gag about cheesecake at Frank's Pizza. I told that to Josh, and I don't know if he's going to work that into the video or not. But yeah, her birthday, she's a Valentine baby. So not far past Valentine's Day, her birthday. So I figure, how about I do a videogram for her? So hopefully we're going to tack that on here for you to see. You'll get a sample of Josh's work. Hope you enjoy it.
To your very own Jam Your Gram Singing Telegram. Today you're getting a rock star treatment. A special musical tribute from your brother Joe that celebrates your birthday, even though it's past, better late than never, right? He handpicked a couple of his favorite songs just to show you how much he loves you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Close your eyes and I'll every heartfelt note. Now, let's crank it up and get ready to shake, rattle, and roll. Look, get out that bed, wash your face and hands. Hey, get out that bed, wash your face and hands. Kitchen making doors and the pots and pans. Well, I beat to the soul, you're the devil and I like hoes. So you're the devil and I like hoes. Hard about work, but fast about money goes. Well, shake, rattle, and roll. I did shake, rattle, and roll. I did shake, rattle, and roll. I did shake, rattle, and roll. Oh, you can't do right and save your doggone soul. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wow, that rock and roll energy really sets the stage. And now, let's take a sweet detour to Michelle's wonderful world. Okay. What do you think about this one? I don't know much about birthdays, dear. Before related toast, I'm here. 7-Eleven coffee keeps you bright. And days of life is your daytime delight. We may not throw big parties so grand, but your vibe is the best in the land. What a wonderful sister I see. I can call you baby sister of mine. That's what the girls do, shining in time. Indeed, Smokies and chicken too. Cheesesteak at Frank's, let me share it with you. Shoppers Valley, you shiny stay. Curb hopping driver, we love you anyway. What a wonderful sister to be. Yeah, Michelle. Though this birthday is belated, the love in our hearts can't be underestimated. What a wonderful sister to me. Yeah, Michelle. I hope you're feeling special, Michelle. I hope you're feeling special, Michelle. Yeah. And before we wrap it up, a little encore. A speedy happy birthday to the star of the show. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Michelle. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Michelle. Joey loves you. Thank you so much for joining us on this musical roller coaster. Used to love, laughter, and a birthday as fabulous as you.
Thank you for having tuned in for Constitutionalist Politics Show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you. Available anywhere books are sold. If you have locally run bookstores still near you, they can order it for you. And let me remind, over time, the fancy high production items will come. But for now, for starters, it's just you as a very appreciated listener by me. All substance, no fluff, just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless. Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help.
Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM is your conservative flamethrower. Weekdays, Steve Gruber starts things off at 6 a.m. Gruber gives his perspective on the issues of the day. At 9 a.m., Glenn Beck blazes the airwaves with his nationally syndicated program. From noon to 3, it's Dennis Prager. At 3 o'clock, it's Wham's own Thayrone X. On the Edge, Thayrone tells it exactly as he sees it. At 6, it's The Dana Show, your conservative alternative. At 8, don't miss Joe Pags. Weekends are filled with conservative talk as well. Fingers Malloy, Thomas LeDuc, The Abolitionists Roundtable, A Moment of Clarity with Pastor Rick, Your American Heritage with Ed Bondarenka, Dave Janda's Operation Freedom, and Dick Kupke's Trigger Talk. You can even get links to Wham podcasts from Dave, Dick, and of course Thayrone, all from their pages on our website, whamradio.com. Keep it locked on Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM in southeastern Michigan, and whamradio.com anywhere in the world.